So at the end of last chapter, Luffy sent somebody really strong that just arrived apparently. Now everybody is assuming that Luffy's talking about Kizaru, but my friend Celestial Dynamo has actually proposed a much more interesting idea. Speaking of which, check out his content in the description below, as he's a very talented guy who is also one of the most entertaining people that I know. Now people think Kizaru is headed towards Luffy as he was last seen headed towards him. However, what if Monkey D. Dragon is the strong individual that Luffy just sensed arrive? Now bear with me and the idea will make a lot more sense. Now there's two things to keep in mind. Oda already set this up a few chapters ago, and Kizaru may not even be headed towards Luffy at this very moment. Now if I may interrupt the video real quick, just for a quick second, if you're enjoying this so far, why not press the like button? It's free. Share it with a friend, leave a comment, subscribe, that's also free, and it would help a small YouTuber like me out. You know, a small YouTuber, you know how it is, a struggle out here. Now back to the meat and potatoes. What did I mean when I said Oda set this up? Now back in chapter 1064, we see Vegapunk Shaka talking to somebody, and it turns out that that somebody that he's talking to is Monkey D. Dragon. He's over here telling him, "I'm gonna be dead soon and I thought you should know." What does Dragon say in response? Dragon's over here sounding distressed and tells him, "Hey yo, don't joke about things like that, bro." Now if you analyze that interaction real quick, it sounded like a cry for help on Vegapunk's part, and Dragon seemed like he was ready to pull up if this were to actually go down. Now if we move on over to chapter 1066, we get a good flashback displaying Vegapunk and Dragon's friendship and their meeting on Ohara, right after the Ohara incident. Apparently, Dragon wanted Vegapunk with him full time and was advising him against working for the world government. Now what are the events that are transpiring in the modern day? Well, the result of that very interaction, the government wants to kill Vegapunk. Now Dragon, let's not forget, he did want Vegapunk on his side, so it would only make sense that he's on his way to rescue his friend. Now moving on over to my next point, Kizaru may not even be headed towards the Straw Hats. Now if we try to take a look at Kizaru's motives have always been unclear, and Oda wants to keep it that way for as long as possible. In fact, one chapter he's over here talking about how he's a cog in the machine, but then in the next one he's over here telling Saturn that he wants to fight Sentomaru instead. His interaction with Saturn indicates that he just wants to stall and focus his efforts on Sentomaru. If you look at the undertones, it seems like he doesn't really want to do this, but he's doing it anyways. Or at least he wants to facilitate the escape of Vegapunk with the Straw Hats in some way, while potentially staying true to himself. I may be wrong, but he is focusing his efforts on Sentomaru right now when he could have just passed through and rushed the Straw Hats immediately. In fact, Saturn told him to do so and he still didn't do it. Now people are saying that, oh, Kizaru is headed towards the Straw Hats, he's headed towards the Straw Hats. But if you take a closer look, the last panel we see Kizaru in, he's actually telling Sentomaru that he's headed straight for him, which leads to the two of them clashing. So why would the strong individual that Luffy is sensing be Kizaru? Now this is a totally separate point that I wanted to mention, but I didn't exactly know where to fit in the video. You remember the Kuma flashback, right? The one that we saw a glimpse of with Bonney? Yeah, that flashback. It was left incomplete, wasn't it? Well, if we assume that Dragon is the one who just arrived on the island, Dragon could be the reason as to why we didn't see the whole thing yet. Oda could have waited until Dragon was here in order to include his perspective on the whole thing. Not only is it in the realm of possibilities, but this may even be further evidence for this whole thing. I don't know, you tell me about this one. Now to summarize the whole thing, the strong presence that Luffy sensed was Monkey D. Dragon arriving on Egghead Island. Dragon intends to join in on rescuing Vegapunk and ensuring that he does not die to the world government. Now I just want to take a quick second to thank my friend Celestial Dynamo for this great idea. If anything, I'm a little jealous that I didn't think of it myself. So what are you doing? Go check out his channel in the description below. He's a super talented guy. And while you're at it, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you press that like button, make sure that you subscribe, because these things really help me as a small YouTuber. Besides that, the common question of the day is, who do you think Luffy is sensing? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and have a good one.